Alright, hello everyone. My name is Chelsea Panos and welcome to What Are You Talking About? Where today I will discuss misconceptions surrounding water and ideas on how to address them. This is a very important topic because there is nothing as powerful as a concept and nothing more dangerous than a misconception. Misconceptions in any area can lead to misunderstandings and form barriers against the adoption of new and innovative ideas. So it's important to the future of water science for us to understand the misconceptions surrounding water, why they exist in the first place, and then methods on how to address them. So the three misconceptions I will very briefly talk about are water conservation, stormwater treatment and bait, and groundwater. So first, when children and adults alike are asked the question, how does the amount of water on Earth now compare with that 1,000 years ago or 1,000 years from now, many will answer more water or less water, when the answer to both questions is the same amount of water. We know that while it may appear to be removed from human use or added by large rainfall events, water remains in the water cycle in the global scale and the longer geologic time scale. This misconception exists because the water cycle is taught at the elementary level, and elementary level students are concrete thinkers that rely on observation. So for them, rain and snow is more concrete than something like evaporation. They just don't get it. They think that when water evaporates, it simply disappears. So the next one is stormwater. So there are a lot of myths surrounding stormwater, including that it is clean, that stormwater drains lead to treatment plants, and that industries are the biggest polluters of stormwater. We know, of course, that stormwater is dirty, that stormwater is not treated through treatment plants, and that industries are not the biggest polluters of stormwater. We are. Unlike water conservation and evaporation, however, stormwater concepts are not abstract, and they're actually more easily understood by children than those other concepts. So this misconception mainly comes from a lack of stormwater curriculum at all levels of education. So my mom's third grade class knows all about stormwater, but not all third grade teachers have a PhD hydrology student for a daughter. So lastly, there are also many misconceptions surrounding groundwater, including the fact that groundwater does not refer to underground caverns of water or rivers of water, but water in the pore spaces of soil, which can lead to some pretty wild misconceptions like this one, when you combine the idea of groundwater with things like groundwater pumping or hydraulic fracturing. So we know that these misconceptions exist, and they lead to misunderstandings and fear, barriers to new ideas. So what do we do about it? So there's a few ideas, including the first is diagrams. So language, as we heard earlier, and diagrams and how you use them can inadvertently lead to misconceptions. And of course, the main diagram in the world of water is this one. So if you Google water cycle, hundreds of images similar to this one come up. And so some of the misconceptions come from seeing so many different variations, but on the flip side, sometimes misconceptions arise from seeing just one version. So young students especially think on the local rather than the global scale. So for them, if they see a water cycle only shown in a mountainous region, they might think this cycle only occurs in natural areas and not in cities. So understanding language and diagrams and how they are interpreted is important to addressing misconceptions. Another way is through exercises, both in the classroom and as outreach ideas. So again, as concrete thinkers, especially young students, hands-on exercises are the best way to teach them water concepts, and at an early age, clear up those misconceptions early on. And there's a lot of different ideas out there, and I have a lot of them listed at the end of this presentation. Lastly, a really simple way to clear up misconceptions is through simple dialogue. So you have the power to share your knowledge, all of your knowledge about water, with your community, and that's a really powerful way to educate your community and engage them and get them involved in the uptake of these new water ideas surrounding stormwater infrastructure or water reuse and all of the other cool things that are being talked about at this conference. Talk to your grandma. Tell everybody about what you're doing in your research. So the bottom line is that water is important, and it's important to everyone. We can't afford people misunderstanding it, and we have the ability to make sure that they do understand. Because after all, there's nothing as powerful as a concept and nothing more dangerous than a misconception. Thank you.